Okay, right on. Welcome, everybody. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Welcome back to another episode of Live with Danielle and Teresa. We don't have a, I don't know if that's a working title or that's going to be the permanent title, but we're just running with it. You get the idea. It's fine. You know where to find us, so it works just the same. So first and foremost, I want to start by again thanking everybody who tunes in, whether you're tuning in live or on the replay. We deeply appreciate it. We love all the comments. We've noticed, the more we do them, the more comments we get about how helpful, what we're talking about is and how insightful it is. And of course, that's why we're doing this, is to share what we know. We both, if you caught episode 1, you know that we both agree that there's a lot of manifesting mumbo jumbo out there that makes it way more complicated than it needs to be. We both learned from people that were making it way more complicated than it needed to be, which frustrates the whole thing. And so we not only want to share our, journey, and so you can see what it actually looks like to do the work, but so we also want to simplify the whole thing like way down. So actually today we are going to do that. We're going to go back to the basics, manifesting 101, how you start to get into manifestation, how you manifest anything. And of course, we're going to start by saying you're already manifesting all of the time, which is frustrating sometimes when we realize we've been doing it this whole time and we could have been doing it intentionally, but that's what we're here to accomplish. So manifesting 101. So Teresa, in your opinion, what is the starting point, the first piece of the puzzle that needs to come together for people?
Let's see. First off, I think the first thing is us being triggered, right? Yeah. Being tired of our own shit. Just being sick and tired of being sick and tired. So let's start with that first, right? Because a lot of times when we get to this point, instead of seeing it as something positive, we start knocking ourselves like, why didn't I do this sooner? How come I didn't do this? How come I could have did this? I could have did that. Blah, 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 blah. First off, let that go. Whatever moment that you're at right now, take that, turn it into something positive. Okay, everything in my life has led me to this one specific point to now start searching for the answers in my life that I need to create the life that I desire to live. Right? So after we've done that, we've accepted these things, we're not going into a state of shame or guilt or any of that. Now, what do we want our life to look like? Right? So many of us, well, I want a better life. I want a better life. That's what you hear so many times, right? When you first start talking with the client, I want a better life. Well, what does that look like? Well, I want happiness. Well, what does that look like? What does happiness look like? What does a better life look like in detail? Right? Because our higher self, the universe, subconscious mind is like, oh, she wants a better life. Okay, well, what does that mean? Well, let's scan through all the files and moments here and there, what better life look like, and throw you one of those. One here, one there, one good moment, it's a bunch of randomness in our lives. That's how it's been all the way up to this point until we start living it with intention and actually doing a scan of our whole life. That's what we have to do. Scan your whole life, look at all the areas you want to change, and then put details. What does happiness mean to you? So that every time you say, after you know what it looks like, then you can say, oh, I want happiness here, I want happiness there, because in your subconscious, you've given it an idea of what happiness looks like for you or to you. Then it'll scan looking for those things once you gave it a definition of what happiness means. But until then, it's just like a scatterbrain, right? Yeah. There's so many people that I say, get a pen and paper, write it down, write down what you want. I already know what I want. It's in my head. Can you get a fucking piece of paper and a pen and write it down? But why? Because when it's just in your thoughts only, they're everywhere. So then what does your outside reality look like? It's fucking everywhere because we're creating from our thoughts. Your subconscious machine is listening, is waiting for the commands. You're giving it commands with all kinds of random stuff. When you see the things written, I was like, what happened? Where'd you go?
Yeah, she got it. When you see the things written, you said, when you see the things written down.
So you see the things written down, It helps you focus,
Right.
get clarity, and
Right.
then start working towards those things. And then again, we've talked about this before too. Then your subconscious has a roadmap to follow. That's the
Right.
main thing here, is to give
Right.
it the roadmap. But even yourself, even from the last episode, we talked about the whys.
Yeah.
You have to have your why. You also have to have your dream, your desire, your goal, or else you're just blowing in the wind, because what's going to make you want to not give up?
Right.
Seeing all this shit on paper, seeing that you, knowing, not even seeing, knowing that you can absolutely 100 million% have all of these things, a constant daily reminder, your why, your goals, your dreams, desires, details. Why details? Because we don't want just randomness, things coming in, things leaving, you know. And why not? You can have things to a T of exactly how you desire them.
Yeah.
But what does that look like? That's your step one, your roadmap to know where the fuck you're going, because on this journey you're going to get pulled so many different directions. You got to be able to stay focused.
Yes, exactly. And for me, some of the time, either when I had trouble really getting clear on what I wanted, because of course we heard that at the beginning too, you got to get clear, you got to get clear. And it's like, well, but, and I thought I was being clear, but even clearer, like all the details. And like I said, I think it was maybe last episode talking about the peripheral benefits. But before you even get to the peripheral benefits, some people really have trouble getting clear on what they want. So what I always say to them is, look, okay, you don't need to pull things out of your butt. Like all you need to do is look at what's already happening and use every single interaction, every single experience, every situation, every like hour of the day. Is this hour going the way that I want it to or not? Because if not, now it's a contrast moment and you get to choose, what would I rather experience instead? That's where the awareness starts to come in. And I think that, especially when people who want like a just better life, I want more of this, I want to be happier. It's like, well, but no, like specifically in this moment, if this particular scenario could unfold in any way possible, would you have it unfold the way it just unfolded, or would you have it happen differently? Like, what would be the ideal scenario for this? And so that's a trick that you can try too. If you're when you're trying to get clear and you're going, okay, I'm sick of my own shit. Okay, yes, I was there too. Teresa was there too. That's usually the motivating factor, right? I'm sick of my own shit. Okay, what would I rather have? And not just in general, like Teresa's saying, specifically in everything. So use your contrasting moments when something, like, I've had, you have an unexpected bill come and you don't have the funds to cover it. That's a contrast moment. Obviously, my ideal reality would be, I don't necessarily like, this is not talking about going from no money to like millions of dollars. Maybe that's what you want. It doesn't have to be. It can be simply, you know what? In this moment, I would rather be in a situation where I know without having to look in my account that I have more than enough to cover all of the things that I already have to cover this month that are expected, bills and rent and all this stuff, and more than enough to cover unanticipated things like this extra bill, or like, a pet getting sick, or you see this amazing jacket at the mall and you want to get it and it's on sale, right? Like any situation you can use as a contrast and go, okay, even if it's all right, if it's not exactly what you want, use it as an opportunity to clarify what that is, and then jot it down on paper. Like Teresa's saying, something magical happens when you take pen to paper and you write it down. It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, just like, with money too, like you're saying, you get that. Well, I want more money. Well, how much? 10 cents? $10?
Yeah.
What do you want? Because it's like, then your higher self, your subconscious, like, well, I gave you more money. What's your problem? How come you ain't grateful?
Yeah.
I'm writing down how many thousands a month I want to be making. And not just that, right? We're getting clarity on the things that we want to bring in. And then what does that person feel like that has these things? What does she act like? What does she talk like? Do people respect her when she walks into a room? Right. This is what I mean when I say details, right? When I walk into a room, all eyes are on me, right, if that's what you want. When I walk into a room, my energy takes control over the direction of the whole room, of everybody else's energy. Right. People respect me wherever I go. I'm getting discounts on everything. You know, one thing that I heard too was all of my bills have been paid off and my credit score is at 800. And there's somebody who that I know, she didn't do anything in her life, like to work on her credit and stuff like that. This was just one of the things that she really desired. And she kept repeating it over and over and over, and woke up one day and received a check for the exact amount of all of her bills, checked her credit score. It was there.
There you go.
So even down to that, you know what I mean? Like when I say all the areas of your life, literally all the areas of your life. Is there something about your appearance that you don't like and you want to change that? We have the power to do that. That's wild. We talked about that the last few times.
Yeah.
Ass is fat, face to snatch. I'm gonna keep saying it. You know, if you don't like your nose, if you don't like your eye color, if you don't like the shape of your face, if you don't like your voice, anything and everything is tangible. Everything can be changed. That's how powerful we are.
Everything can be changed. And feeling into the feeling of it, right? Like, okay, when my face looks the way that I want it to, when my body looks the way that I want, when my account, it doesn't even, for some of us, I know money specifically for some people, other people, it's partnership, some people it's health, whatever it is. For like, I'm going to use money as an example. If you don't necessarily know how much money you want, or because a lot of people have also a skewed view of how much money it actually takes to live the way that they want. Either they're way underestimating or overestimating or whatever. And to those people, I always say, and pretty much anybody who's manifesting anything, whether they have the specifics or not, is lean into the feeling of it. Like, how do you feel? Like financials, for example, like I was just using that example with the bills. Like if the bill is say $200, it doesn't really matter if you have hundreds more or thousands more. What you're after is the feeling that no matter what my bank account is at, I know I don't have to look. I can write a check right now and I know it's not going to bounce. You know what I mean? Like that feels good. That's peace, right? That's freedom. This is like I'm saying, this doesn't have to be, if you want more money and you don't know how much more that is, or if you want to feel better and you don't know like what weight and what muscle mass and all that, that's fine. How do you feel like health-wise? How do you feel when you put your clothes on and you get dressed in front of the mirror? Like when you put your bathing suit on, you know, how do you feel when you see your reflection of yourself in your bathing suit in the mirror? Right. So, and you can for me, for those of you who are in human design, I'm a manifestor, but I'm a non-specific manifestor. So for me, I can manifest with details or without. And some of the time I actually prefer to manifest without the black and white details, but with the feeling details very significantly defined. Because if, for example, the bathing suit in the mirror example, if I focus on feeling good when I see myself in the mirror, right? Focus on not like, I know a lot of us, we put our bathing suit on, we look in the mirror and we're just like, oh, I don't know, I better get cover up. I better, wrap my towel around. I gotta, you know what I mean? I ideally would like to be able to put my bathing suit on and look in the mirror and feel like, man, look at me. Like, holy, this is amazing. I can't wait to prance around the beach, right? So if that's something that you're after, you want to focus on how good it feels to feel good in your own skin. And it doesn't matter what the scale says or what my BMI is or what my, how big my bicep is. I don't care about that. I just care about how good I feel. And for all of us, I mean, we already have access to the whole range of emotions and feelings. Like it's not like when you hit a certain dollar figure or a certain weight or a certain relationship status that this like new level of good feelings unlocks, right? Like you have access to all of those right now. And no matter what your situation is right now, there has to have been some point in your life, even if you have to go all the way back to childhood, where you have felt as good as the feeling you're after now, right? So focusing on the feelings, right? If you're having trouble getting the details down, even the contrast creates clarity thing is not working, like focus on how good you want to feel and let the universe kind of fill in how that comes to be. And it's actually super fun because you're not putting parameters on how things come, because something else we'll talk about, I don't know if we'll get to it today or it'll come in a future episode, but one thing that I have found, especially for me that I've experienced, is I unintentionally put parameters on things coming to me, and I unintentionally am manifesting this thing as a result of this thing or vice versa. And then it's like, well, but why are they connected? Because they can be two separate manifestations. They don't have to come together. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying?
One more time with the end right there.
let me give you an example. It'll make more sense if I give you an example. So I have in the past unintentionally attached things and made the things manifesting dependent on each other. Okay. So one of my most famous examples for people who have been following me a while, they will have heard me talk about this. Years ago, when I was trying to get my business going, on an old ass HP laptop. Okay. It didn't have a camera or anything. So it was not ideal. Anyway, so I was trying to manifest a new MacBook Air. Okay. At the same time, I'm trying to manifest clients for my business. I'm trying to get my business going. And somehow I had wrapped it up in my head that I would be able to buy the computer after I got new clients. But I also had a belief system in my mind that I needed a new computer to get new clients. So I've made them dependent on each other, but in a way that neither of them can come first because I need the other thing to manifest the other thing. And then I remember one day I was standing in my bedroom and I was like, well, wait a minute. Why do these things have to be attached? Why can't I have both independent of either of these things happening? And then literally the next day, I was having a conversation with my mother-in-law who was telling me that the iMac that we had already got fried in a power outage we had like a month or two before, but I had never said anything about it because I just figured, or whatever, like it's our problem, right? I said something in passing about it. It was like a comment that I made. And she's like, well, wait, we can claim that on the home insurance because because of the power outage, the thing surged and now it doesn't work. So literally the next day, less than 12 hours later, I had a means to be able to have the cash to buy the laptop that I wanted without having to have clients. But up until that moment, I felt that I needed to have this thing fall into place before I could have this thing, when really they're not connected.
So my brain is like, okay, so
yeah.
it's like a few things. First off is checking the state from where you are manifesting from.
Right.
Is it 100%. Lack? Is it desperation? Right? You have to have this one in order to have this one, but I have to have this to have this. And if without this, then I can't have this. Right. So it changed your energetic state that you're manifesting from. You have an attachment to it, right? So in this process, we cannot manifest from lack. We cannot manifest from desperation. We cannot attach to things. So when we're writing down details of what we want, we can't be like, I want this because I have to have it, because I won't be able to live if I can't have this thing, right? This is where the self-concept is going to come into play, right? We have to be working on that. When we're manifesting and we're writing these things out, we have to do it with the knowing, right, that they're going to be coming. But this is where I feel like, for me, myself, I feel that it's important, before you even start writing this stuff out, put yourself in a happy place.
Yes.
So that everything that's coming automatically to your mind that you're writing down is not in that energy of desperation. Because again, we talked about what was the first step, tired of our own shit. So in that moment, you are in a like, fuck, what can I do? I want the fuck out of this. I know I'm meant for so much more. Okay, you have that realization. Then do something that makes you happy first to change your energetic state. Yeah. Then start writing your stuff down that you want to bring in. Okay, because that energetic state that we're in, no matter what, it counts, it matters. Right. And when we're so attached to the outcome of something, we're building our own resistance. It's not going to fucking come in because you're not in the flow state. Right. So as soon as you had that realization, let it go, fucking appeared. Yeah. Boom. Just like that. It's right there. And that's with everything that we're writing down. And to go back a little bit, what you were saying about for yourself, you can't, the details and stuff like that, is better for you to fill in it. Filling for me is the next step. You wrote the things down. You must feel into them. You must feel good about them. It's kind of a piggyback on what I'm saying right now. Yeah. What energy are we putting into our manifestations? What are we holding ourselves to? What are we, the vibration is the biggest fucking thing here on whether it's coming in quick or not, because the vibration is attached to our emotions. The emotions are attached to our energetic state. It's all one combined together.
Yeah. Which is why you have been saying in past episodes, it's important that no matter what, like you make your list, and then no matter what, you like follow your joy. Whether the joy thing has to do with the thing you're manifesting or not, it doesn't matter because it's your energetic state. So follow your joy, and everything else has to fall into place because as you raise your energetic set point, the stuff that you want can't help but come in. And the reason you don't have those things already is because you're not an energetic match, right? Like the reason why we know you have to raise your vibration is because if you were already energetic match, you would already have the things that you want. You don't have them because you're not an energetic match for them. So one of the fastest ways to get in an energetic state of receiving those things and being a match for them is to just follow your joy. And this can be like, you might be manifesting thousands of dollars a month, but you love to paint and you're not planning on selling the paintings for money. Like maybe you do something totally different. But if you love to paint, if it brings you joy, then you go and fucking paint and paint and paint and make time to paint and prioritize painting because you need to follow your joy. Like you have to. And why not? Right? Why not? Why not prioritize following your joy? What possible bad thing can happen when you follow your joy, even without manifesting as part of the conversation, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're following your joy. It makes this journey fun.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because it could become a task. It could become a chore. You could get angry when you're not seeing things. And that's another thing. Like, you can't continuously check your 3D reality for this. Every time you do that, it's like putting yourself backwards.
Yeah.
Because when you don't see it, what happens? You get frustrated.
It's coming. Yeah.
You get angry. Yeah. You start not believing that it's coming when it actually fucking is. It has no choice. It has no choice. So it's feeling the feelings of the things as if they're already here.
Yeah.
Making it, you should be smiling. When I look at the stuff that I write down and I reread it, I cannot help but fucking smile and be happy. Yeah. Just that knowing that shit, all I have to do is follow my joy from day to day and all of these things are going to manifest. They don't have a fucking choice because it's universal law. Are you kidding me? That's wild. Yeah. But if you attach to the things, right, you're building resistance. You're not allowing it to just flow naturally. You're stopping it because you're getting in your head over and over and over. Well, I need this because this, blah, 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 blah. It's affecting your energetic state. Yeah. It's taking you from up here to down here, right? We'll have to get that scale of emotions on one episode and go over that too. That's a really good thing to cover. So it's putting you back into the same energetic state that you've done over and over and over and over, your old belief system, your old realities. Every time you're dropping back down, we want to break that. We want to get out of that. Yeah. And we don't want to manifest from this place because it's the same shit that we're trying to get rid of.
Yeah. And by focusing your energy. Yes, exactly. And by focusing your energy on that.
And then we get more angry. Like, why isn't anything fucking changing?
Yeah. Well, because you haven't done anything differently. Yeah.
You haven't changed your energetic state yet.
Yeah.
You must change it, in order to shift your reality.
Yeah.
And I mean, think about that. Following your joy all day long. And if you don't know what that is, you guys, you need to figure it the fuck out.
Yes.
But that's what happens a lot of times on this journey, right? You're a mother, you're a wife, and then you get to a point you're like, who the fuck am I? Mm-hmm. What
do I like?
Me, right?
Yeah.
Either you just get to this point just because it's your time for your awakening, or your kids have left the house. Or, I could give an example for my family. I played sports my whole life. Once it got to the point where I got married, and that was right at 18, my parents didn't have a fucking identity. They literally lost themselves. I feel honestly that was part of like what started chaos. But, obviously we know everything happens for a reason too.
Right.
But it's so important to have your own identity, period. Because whether it's today you search for it, 5 years from now, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, there will come a point in time for those of you who are meant to get this information and awaken that you start searching for it. So and this happens a lot, I ask, what makes you, I want to be happy. I want happiness. Well, what makes you happy? Well, I have no idea. Well, how the hell is your subconscious mind supposed to get you there?
Yeah. You need to figure out what that is. Yeah.
So it does take a lot of you sitting with yourself and self-reflecting.
Yeah.
A lot of things are going to come up, the good, the bad, the ugly. There's no other way though. There's no other way. You can only run for so long, you know?
Well, and that's it. I mean, I know I tried for so long to avoid all of the work, especially because I am a Leo and I'm a manifester and all this stuff. So I kept seeing all this stuff about how powerful I am and all I have to do is this and everything will just materialize and blah, blah, blah. So I kept thinking, well, I don't have to do the work then. I can just go around, forget it. If I'm that magnetic, I should be able to do, well, guess what? It doesn't work that way. You still have to do the work. But it
doesn't have to be difficult.
No, it doesn't.
You just follow the nudges. That's actually the work. It's following the nudges here.
And learn
left,
to trust yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, the hardest part is that initial scanning your whole life of what you don't like, what you want to change, feeling the pain. The pain is going to lead you to the duality that you want to experience, is how you're figuring it out. We make it harder than what it's supposed to be. Like, it really is totally that simple. If we're speaking, everything comes to me with grace and ease. This life is not difficult. It's the easiest thing I've ever have to fucking do, you know, but that's the work. That's the work. Staying in alignment, keeping the energetic state, following your joy. Really? It's, yeah.
Yeah. And perspective shifting, I think, was huge for me too. Like everything that's like, for example, I used to hate cooking dinner and planning meals and all this stuff. Like I used to hate it. And then I was like, okay, this is dumb. I have to cook dinner anyway. I have to eat dinner anyway. Why don't I shift my attitude around it and do something that makes it easier for me to get on board? So actually what we ended up doing was I ended up doing for several months those meal like dinner boxes where you get like so many meals worth of like ingredients every week and then the like full recipe, full instructions. And that took, for me, that was the path of least resistance to get involved in cooking, because I didn't need to do all of the pieces that I thought I didn't like, which was like grocery plan and meal plan and, you know, look up recipes and all this stuff. So by taking that resistance out of the picture and being able to just make dinner with the things already measured and cut and everything for me, it allowed me to start actually enjoying cooking. And then what I found was I actually am pretty good at it. And then I ended up venturing off back into my own, like away from the boxes and back into just cooking. And I was like, oh my God, I actually can do this and I actually enjoy it. And now I like cooking, and maybe that's a bad example, but my point is like shift your perspective around. If you're going to be stuck in traffic, if you're going to be stuck in traffic commuting to work anyway, okay, you can either bitch and piss and moan the whole time about how everybody drives like a moron and how you're going to be late and da-da-da-da, or you can, first of all, set yourself up for success by leaving 10 minutes earlier, but also do something productive with your time in the car. Listen to your favorite music, listen to podcasts like this one, listen to an ebook, learn a language, right? Like take an online course and you can listen to the modules in the car. Like if I was still commuting today, I would do things so differently than I would listen to music and I would like jam out in my car. People thought it was so funny catching me dance, so I was still following my joy in that sense. But if you have the blessing of having to commute to work, you can use that time so selfishly in ways that you wouldn't otherwise be able to do, because as soon as you get home, you've got, errands to run and things to take care of. And if you're a mom, you've got kids to, make sure they're clean and fed and in bed by, whatever time. And shift your perspective on the way that you're seeing things, because it's literally, I think it's Wayne Dyer who says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. Right. And it comes down to perspective, especially the things that we have to do anyway. Like, for example, cleaning the house, folding the laundry. Like, if you're going to ask me how to follow my joy, I'm not going to list keeping the house clean on that list. However, when things need to be tidied and I have my regular cleaning days and all that, I enjoy doing it because I've shifted my perspective to now it being a way that I can express my gratitude for my home by keeping it clean, right? I can express my respect for the living situation I have by keeping it tidy, right? Change your perspective. You have to do these things anyway. And especially for the things you have to do anyway. You
this
can
whole
choose.
journey is a perspective shift
It
all day
is.
long, right?
It is.
And then that it was reminding me of the book in the Magic. It's talking about how wherever you have lack, you don't have enough gratitude.
Yes.
Wherever you're experiencing resistance, you don't have
100%.
enough gratitude for those things.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's a big deal what you're saying about even coming down to cooking, cleaning, laundry. You must have an attitude of gratitude. So how can you look at that differently? Well, how many people don't even have food? How many people don't even have a home?
Oh, exactly.
How many people don't have a job to provide for their family? No income coming in. They don't even have that car that you're in, sitting in traffic, right? But once you do that shift, all of a sudden, traffic disappears. A new fucking freeway opened up for you to get to work, that didn't exist before. All of a sudden, it's taking you 20 minutes instead of an hour out of fucking nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Nowhere. That's how this shit works.
Yeah.
An attitude of gratitude literally shifts everything. And then not just that, on that scale, that emotional scale that I was talking about, gratitude is right under God frequency, which is the highest frequency on this fucking planet. So if you're not feeling well, nothing is working out, sit down, get a pen and a paper, write down 10 things you are grateful for. Trust me, the first time you do this, it's going to blow your mind, because I think you were talking about last episode, how you thought, you're grateful in your life and blah, 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 blah. And then you start looking at shit and you're like, dang, I haven't been grateful here or there.
Yeah.
The first time I sat down to write those 10 things out, before I got that pen and paper, I was like, this is going to be easy. I'm grateful for so many fucking things in my life. Are you kidding me?
I remember I had the same experience.
Okay. Or you write the first 10 things, but I kind of sat there for a minute like, wait, shit. Then the next day comes in, you got 2 of them down and you can't figure out the other 8. Then you start thinking, oh my God, I haven't been that grateful.
Yeah.
You don't think about that. Your heart is pumping blood all by itself. The healthy brain that you have all 10 fingers, all 10 toes. You have all of your limbs attached. You have a roof over your head.
Yeah.
Your blood flow is amazing. You're in the best health of your life. Like, so many things that we don't even think about.
Yeah.
We have oxygen to breathe. The sun is shining. Shit, I fucking woke up today. I have another opportunity to be better today than yesterday. Yeah. So many things that we don't even realize.
No, and gratitude is the holy grail of vibrations you can offer. Like, if you do nothing else and you just start being more grateful for what you already have, just watch how much better everything gets. Like, just watch, because and again, back to, financial things and relationships and stuff like that. Like, if you are not grateful for the dollars you do have, you're not going to get any more. If you're not grateful for the relationship you already have, well, it's not going to improve, because you're not even grateful for what you have right now. And chances are it probably got to the state it's in right now that you're not happy with, because you were not grateful
because you
to begin
didn't
with.
have gratitude.
Yeah. So it's just, gratitude will get you so much further. And then, again, this is one of those things, just like following your joy. What harm can it do by finding more things to be grateful for and expressing your appreciation just to yourself, like as you're driving or on paper or whatever? Like, no harm can come from expressing more gratitude. And like I said, you will find that things just start to happen in your favor when you start to express more gratitude for the things that you already have. And take it a step further, when you're writing your list down of things that you want, expressing what's called reverent gratitude, which is gratitude like in advance before you get it, because you need to understand. And this takes practice. It took me a long time to be able to do this and really believe what I was writing and saying. But just like Teresa's saying, when you make your list and you're smiling because those things are happening, like as soon as not even by the time it gets to the paper, the second you have the like glimmer of thought, it starts to manifest into your reality, because that is how powerful we are. Writing it solidifies it and it allows you to focus on it. Visualizing it, affirming it, that just helps everything get on board. But literally the second that and I'll give you an example. We were the other day, we were driving around, and I was just like, I'm so hungry. I said to my husband, I was like, we need to get something to eat. I'm so hungry. He's like, where do you want to go? You want to go here? Should we go home? Blah, blah, blah. And then in my head, I was like, oh, you know what would be so good right now? That Sushi Express place. They have all day bento boxes. Literally finished my thought. He's like, what about that sushi place? They're open for lunch, right? And I was like, yes, perfect.
Thought transmission.
But, you know, like Teresa and I will say too, that things start to manifest for you faster and easier the more you practice this, right? The more you practice your self-concept work, the more you practice your gratitude, the more you practice being appreciative of everything, the more you can believe in your own creative power, it gets easier and easier. Like, this is one of those things you have to kind of believe it before you see it. And then once you start to see that it works, it's easier to believe it. But so you have to flex the faith muscle. You have to. But I'm telling you, just by writing a list of gratitude in the morning will change your life. And then if you can take it a step further, go ahead.
Yeah, I remember hearing too, I don't know if you remember hearing this too, when we were in a course before, we had to write out gratitude and stuff like that. And I remember the person saying it, I don't know if I think it's 14 days. After 14 days of at least 10 minutes a day of gratitude, it actually increases your serotonin and dopamine levels by 25% to your threshold.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, that's reason enough to do it right there.
Yeah.
That's reason enough. Yeah. And then as I was saying about reverent gratitude, like the more you can practice giving gratitude to the things that you know are coming, not only does it speed up the thing coming, but it also, it's twofold. It increases the thing coming, speeds up the thing coming, because you are more and more and more focused your energy on that it's already coming too, right? Because like Teresa said a few minutes ago, when you ask for something and then you continue to notice how it's not around, it cannot come to you while you're noticing it's not there, because your belief system creates your reality. So it's
the knowing state is what brings it in.
Right. So you have to know and believe, and with everything that you have, that the thing that you've asked for is unfolding behind the scenes. Sometimes it's immediate. Sometimes it takes years. It really depends on what it is. It depends on where you're at. It depends on what your belief systems are. It depends on a lot of things. But I also believe fully that things unfold as they need to. And so it's funny because Teresa knows we've been friends a long time, and she's watched me grow my business. And so at the very beginning, she was the one that channeled the message to me. It was like, stop repelling all your people. Nobody's going to work with you when you're going at it with this energy. I ended up going back to work and it was all good. But whatever, it was that was my journey. That's what I needed to do to release the resistance, was like, because we were in financial shit and I needed to solve that problem. And that was my immediate thing. But anyway, I wanted things to go quickly. I wanted to be really successful, really fast. I wanted to go from zero to nothing. I wanted to be, like, I'm not really sure what I imagined I wanted, but I thought I wanted it big and fast. Okay. And now I'm in a place where it's funny, the contrast of it, because I know at whatever point I'm ready to be there, it will be big and it will be as fast as I'm ready to receive it. But right now, and we had this conversation off air the other day, right now, I'm at a place where I don't want to speak anything to existence, but I'm happy with the speed that things are unfolding right now. Like I fully feel and trust that things are unfolding just as quickly, and I'm expanding just as quickly as I'm ready for. And that feels good to me and my nervous system. I feel safe in the way that things are expanding. I feel good the way they're expanding. I'm still pushing myself outside my comfort zone, which is super important, obviously. But Teresa and I both agreed that, look, no, things are chugging along at exactly the right speed. I am so happy right now. It's all good. And we know that things are, the bigger visions we have are also unfolding behind the scenes. And these are just the steps along the staircase to get there. And go ahead. You look like you want to say something.
Something just came in my head, a conversation that I had yesterday. I had a friend message me. This is just piggybacking on what you're saying, just really fucking trusting that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Don't throw any wrenches and stop your manifestations, because they're always coming in.
Yeah.
This friend that I'm talking about is absolutely gorgeous, amazing, body banging. I mean, if you meet her, you're like, damn, this bitch has it all. She's confident. She's like, so her social media was growing. All of a sudden she got shadow banned. She's blocked, everything. But she was very reactive to her reality 24/7.
Mhm.
I don't want to put a limiting belief out there, but let's, for a second, we're going to tap into the 3D world. There's a lot that goes on there where beautiful women who are in their power, energy, people who are insecure and not in their power attack because it's like a threat, right? So this is what she was receiving a lot of. And instead of, hey, you know what? They're unhealed. Hey, that has nothing to do with me. Their opinion of me doesn't mean shit to me. It was taking it on constantly, being on this high, throwing herself back down for what some random fucking person would say. But it took a toll on her, the fact that her social media wasn't growing rapidly, and she has, products of her own that she sells and stuff like that. So it was affecting her income overall. But we stuck. Every time she talked to me, I'm like, get back on track, get back in alignment. Everything's always working out. Just trust it, trust it, trust it. So she shared with me yesterday that she went to a very famous person's Instagram and she put a comment on there. She's like, dude, I got 600 likes and I got 200 comments of straight fucking hate. Just hate on her. They went to her page, talked about the photos that she had, everything. Hated on her big time. She's like, but you know what's so fucking crazy? She said, I feel amazing. Everything makes sense, Teresa. Everything fucking makes sense in this moment right now. She's like, I, for the last year, have been so deep on this healing journey. I was so upset that my social media, my followers, my business, everything seemed like nothing was working out. She's like, but now I can see with absolute clarity everything people said to me affected me so deeply. And I was just a reactive responder 24/7. She's like, all those comments, they have not even penetrated my being at all. What I'm focused on was the 600 likes and all the new people coming to my page. She's like, dude, it's always fucking working out. She said, if I would have got famous a year ago, I wouldn't have been able to help it. She's like, I would have had a mental breakdown. I probably would have went into major depression by all of the hate comments and people that were coming across. Booyah. Exactly.
Well, and that's perfect. That is perfect, because that is a thought that I had the other day when I had this realization that I was like, no, because I was questioning whether I was upper limiting myself in a decision that I was considering making. And then I thought, no, you know what? Because I'm just content and peaceful, and I'm able to prioritize my family over my business. But my business is still thriving and growing, and I'm still showing up, and I'm proud of the way that I'm showing up. And I thought, you know what? And then that led me to, if my business grew exponentially, even right now, like just overnight was like, multi-million dollars, I would not have the infrastructure to be able to, like, I wouldn't have the ability to greet my new clients the way that I want. I wouldn't have any way to manage the customer service. I wouldn't I just wouldn't. And then I thought, man, it is a blessing that I didn't explode the way that I wanted to years ago, that I thought I wanted to years ago, and instead went on my journey. Because if I had gone, like, I would have hermited myself back into my little shell, because I was not proud, I wasn't grateful for what I had. Therefore, I was not proud of what I had. Therefore, I would have been ashamed, and then I would have attracted, and I even did attract some trolls, because that was my own energy.
I remember that too.
Yes. Yes. And you're like, why are you giving this fucking bitch all this? I was like, because anyway,
I had power back right now. Don't let her do that to you.
And the worst part of it is, I had an epiphany the other day of who that actually was. Like, it literally came to me out of nowhere, and I was like, are you serious? I don't have any proof, but I don't know. I just know that that's who, and it doesn't matter. But that's what I was attracting.
But because if you are wanting to be this top-notch woman in her business and all this stuff, and you want to bring all these things in, right? Like you said, there's levels to this. We're growing. That was your belief system being reflected back to you. I think I had told you that too. I was like,
yeah, you even said it to me. Yeah. You're like,
you have a belief that once you get bigger and people start seeing you, they're going to start attacking you. They're going to start coming at you hard. Get in there, switch the fucking belief. Do not let her affect you in any fucking way whatsoever, right? Because
Yeah.
We can't. People who are unhealed or they're not on this journey, they're not on the frequency, they're
They don't
going
get
to
it.
have a
Yeah.
fucking opinion. They're going to talk shit. They're going to project their own shit, but it's always an opportunity for you to grow, right?
Yes.
Because what
Yeah.
happened? You took that shit, you flipped it really quick, you came into your power, right? You grew. Now, when they're coming at you, it's just reflecting and bouncing back off, because the bigger you get, the more people that see you, the more opinions that are going to come. Even though we're going to say some affirmations where everybody loves us and everybody accepts us.
Yeah.
My clients love me and I love them. So far, so damn good. And we're going to keep it that way. You know what I mean?
Exactly. No, exactly. But you're right though. Like it was, but again, you can't experience anything you're not aligned to either. So if it triggers you,
exactly,
then, but I mean, it's
if
also,
it triggers you, you have to see it as a learning opportunity, as a growth lesson.
Right.
That's it.
Because if it happens again in the future, which it may, because there are unhealed people out there.
And right now I'm being shown people who are going to watch this episode that are ready to fucking give up. Do not
don't give up.
Give up. You have to firmly believe and trust that everything is fucking working out, because it is.
It is. Everything is for your benefit.
Imagine you would have given up. You would have gave up. Imagine.
No, that's awful. Like, that's
imagine
awful.
My friend would have gave up. Are you fucking kidding me? She's about to explode. Just take off.
Yeah.
You give up, and then what? 5 years, 10 years from now, you're like, fuck, I hate my life. And you start from ground zero. Not for me.
No.
Not for me.
No, not for me either. Not for me either. And you know, it's funny because when we start this work, you're told that the journey never ends and this, that, you're just like, oh my God, I just want to get wherever I'm going already. Like, I can't be doing this forever. But then you get to a point where I'm at now, and I know Teresa's at now, and hopefully some of you guys watching are at now or approaching quickly, is that you start to realize that the process, even to manifesting specific things, like not even getting into alignment and that whole, like, which is obviously like the ultimate thing, is what you actually want to do is get into alignment with who you really are. And then life just, you create heaven on earth because you recognize your own power and you're in your energy and all that. But on the process to manifesting specific things, what I have found is that the actual manifesting of the thing, while exciting, is not as much fun as the process to manifesting it. Because by the time the thing actually comes, it's like, well, of course, like I already knew it was coming. It's not like a surprise party I didn't know was happening. Like I knew it was coming. I asked for it. I've been doing the things. I saw the synchronicities. I experienced the messages, the winks, the nudges, the whatever. I acted on all of it. Of course it's going to come. But for me, like you've heard me say probably, I love a good manifesting story and I want all the details. I want that. And then this happened and I saw this number and I just knew it was confirmation. And then this happened and it was like, yes, that's perfect. And then I saw this and this and this. And it's like, so the journey is way more fun than a lot of people make it. They make it seem like it is all work and shadow this and blah, 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 and limiting beliefs. And yes, that's part of it, definitely. But also it's so beautiful because when you recognize that everything is working out for you and everything you experience is part of you being set up to receive. Like if you guys, if you don't, you should listen to Abraham Hicks on YouTube. You can find them anywhere, but she calls it getting ready to be ready. Right? Like, and that's what Teresa's saying about the levels. Like, yes, if you want a multi-million-dollar corporation, then that's meant for you. Like not only it's possible, it's literally meant for you because when you desire something, it's actually your like soul being led in that direction, right? Like it was meant for you. So there's no need to rush it. There's no need to agonize over the fact that it's not here because it's coming. Just surrender to the process and let the steps unfold. And the beautiful thing about that is as you let the steps unfold, you end up manifesting the results you want in what ends up, when you look back at it, you're like, how is that even possible that all that happened in that short amount of time? Like there is a point of time, right? I had to go back to work. I told you in 2019, I worked there till 2020. I was there for 1 year. I was able to leave this job having doubled my salary during a pandemic when I had been failing to get my business going for months and years before that, because I doubled down on my faith. I got to work. I had my list of things I needed to do, right? Like, and I'm talking like masculine energy, like make a cover photo, send your emails, blah, blah, blah. But also feminine energy things, believing in myself and all of that. And the time, I still, when I look back and I'm telling people the timeline of how this stuff worked out, I still have trouble going, that really happened all in that like 4 months? I just like, how is that even possible? I was like, that can't be right. I have to look at
firmly
the calendar.
believe that okay, even though, you know, the conspiracy theories and all that shit, like, you know, my beliefs on it.
Yes.
But I do honestly feel in my heart that the collective, all of us chosen ones, did have something to do with the manifestation of COVID. Why? Because we were going. We were so stuck in the fucking matrix, right? 8 to 5, mundane, every single day. You're so tired by the time you get home. All you want to do is go to sleep. You wake up and fucking do it again. You have all these dreams, desires that you're not even working on because you're so fucking busy with your work life, with your children, husband, wife, whatever.
Yeah.
So we all have these desires. We're all supposed to awaken. What happened? We had no choice. We were forced to be at home for a while. We were forced to fucking slow down and look at everything. So, I mean, again, perspective shift. That's when my life changed. If it, I would not be where I am right now.
Well, that's exactly.
COVID forced me to leave something that I was in way too fucking long, but I was so busy and not knowing my left from my right every single fucking day. I didn't even have the chance to get myself out of that. I couldn't think straight.
Well, you didn't even have the time to sit and reflect on the fact that it wasn't what you wanted because you're just busy reacting to what's going on.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. So you have to, that's what we have to leave people with on this perspective shift on everything.
Yeah.
Everything is always working in your favor, no matter what it looks like. And I say this so many times. I was at a job that I didn't want to leave because I became dependent on the money, but I hated fucking going. Literally, I hated my life. Sunday would come and I'm just like throwing a fit like a baby, like, oh, it's about to be Monday morning. I don't want to go. I hate this. Like, what? So what happened? The more I was focusing on this, like how much I wanted my desired life and I didn't want to be in this. And I'm like, but how do I leave? I can't do it. I got let go.
I remember.
I got a $5 raise 2 fucking days before, telling me how amazing I was and how I contribute to the company. They absolutely love me. To letting me go 2 days later, just saying that I wasn't a fit. Are you fucking kidding me? But I knew instantly, I know what's happening here. I'm dragging my fucking feet.
I remember.
So yeah, you remember.
You're like, dude, guess what? I got fired. I was like, that's amazing. You're like, I know, right? That's so funny.
But again, if that didn't happen that way, I wouldn't have fucking been able to walk away. But you know, I could have chose a different response. I could have went into depression. I could have been like, what the fuck? I can't believe this. Why would they let me go? I did bring up like, well, that's weird. You fucking gave me a raise of $5 2 days ago. Like, and now I'm not a fit. And then, but instantly in my head was like, I know what's fucking happening.
Yeah, I get it. I see what's going on.
At that time, I just said always higher self. Oh, my higher self fucking did this. I wasn't moving fast enough and going to where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
And so the universe, your higher self, your subconscious mind will sometimes fucking do it for you. So you have a choice to shift your perspective and truly believe that it's working out for you, because it fucking is. We're going to say this every episode. It is always fucking working out for you, no matter what it is, no matter what the 3D is showing you. Stay focused on your dreams, your desires, your goals. Stay in that feeling of the things are already here, having a knowing that it's already fucking done. Follow your joy and let it unfold magically for you.
Yes.
No fucking resistance.
Well, that was just the best way to end this episode, I tell you. Yeah, like honestly, when you shift your perspective to knowing that everything is always working out for you, and at first you might not believe it, you just keep affirming it anyway. Train your mind to find the proof that that is true, and you will continue to see it over and over and over and over. And everything that you do, you'll see. And then no matter what is thrown at you, like, you know, I've shared in various capacities the things that I've gone through the last few months. And if I didn't live by this motto that everything is always working out for me, I would have crumbled. But I knew it was going to work out, because it has to, because this is my reality and I create my reality. And okay, I wouldn't have created this situation intentionally, but this is responding to something I believe. So, okay, I got to look at that. So it's serving me on that small scale, but also in the grand scale. I was like, well, I mean, at the very least, this is going to be a really good story for my book at some point, you know, like it's serving me that way too. It gives me more relatable points, like whatever the reasons are, there's always
your
something.
Emotions control
Yes.
your vibration and your frequency.
Yes.
When you shift the perspective to gratitude and knowing that it's always working out for you, you start gaining emotional intelligence. You start taking yourself off of this roller coaster of up and down. Everything, it's working out, it's not working out, it's working out, it's not working out. Okay. There's so much benefit from this. You're going to get more control of your emotions, which are going to have more control of your energetic state. And you're just going to start fucking feeling amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And anything that comes up, you're going to be able to see it for what it is and not for what your previous self is thinking it is, like from your wounded, whatever perspective. Like, this is working out. You look for that silver lining, you look for that reason, and you will always find what you're looking for. So this is another reason why this works like better than anything, is when you train yourself to look for what's working out and how it's serving you, you will find it every single time. Like that's just how it works.
Whatever you look for, you will find.
Yes.
Stop looking for the shit that you don't fucking want.
Yes. And that's exactly
why. You'll get more of it.
And that's exactly why you cannot look at your reality to see this thing that's not here, because what you're looking for, without realizing it, what you're looking for is proof that it's not here. Right? Yep. So if you're looking for proof that it's not here, obviously you're going to get proof it's not here. If you instead look for proof that it's coming, you are going to continue to see angel numbers and winks from the universe. And okay, so funny example. A while back, I was manifesting 10K. Okay. Took my jacket off. I had this jacket for years. Take the jacket off. I went to hang it up and I noticed in the tag, it says 10K on the tag. I don't know what that means, but I was just like, what? And then, okay. So then a couple of days later, still manifesting the 10K, take a different jacket off, same brand, different jacket. It has a 10K tag in it. I have never noticed it. I've had these jackets for years and I have never noticed this 10K tag before. Or maybe I didn't, it didn't mean anything. I don't really know which one it is. It doesn't matter. You're going to find
once you have that awareness, then your reticular activating system starts scanning your whole fucking universe in front of you, looking for the things to give you proof of what you want.
Yeah.
So for me, that's like a birds before landing for you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You look for proof that it's working, and that's what you will find. Look for proof that everything is always working out for you, and that's what you will find. And sooner than later, you're going to have a whole different life.
You got to reintroduce your motherfucking self to people,
and this is
your own self.
Yeah, this is the best part, because you will get to a point where chances are your physical reality really doesn't look that different, but you have changed. And that's what Teresa's saying. You have to introduce yourself to yourself again, because it's like, whoa, man, I'm this whole new person. And your reality may be the same physically, but you're going to look at it differently. You're going to see it differently. You're going to appreciate it differently. And it's just like, that's when the magic really starts to set in, because you're
once
like, holy
you do
shit.
that part, that's when the physical actually starts changing. Yes. That will become unrecognizable too.
Yeah. Well, that's a good place to leave it. That's amazing. I am so thankful. Teresa, thank you again for another awesome episode. I love you so much. I love you, all you guys watching. We appreciate it so much. Please let us know in the comments if this was helpful. If you have any questions for us, please share the video with people that you think it would be beneficial to. And we all know somebody that this would be beneficial for. Tag them, share it, whatever you need to do. Let's make the world a better place, because we all have the capacity to manifest miracles.
Amen.
We love you guys.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.